Good evening, I'm James, the producer of Super Happy Good Time Productions, and we make the show The Doom City of Granitegard for the Guardtower Presents. Tonight we have something special in store for you. If you went to Origins last weekend, you might have seen it. If not, congratulations, you get to see it tonight. We recorded a session of the Doom City of Granitegard live in front of a studio audience, and there's a lot of little twists and turns in tonight's episode. So let's just get right into it, and I hope that you enjoy our show.
Yes, the Guardtower sponsors our show, and we're really, really thankful for this opportunity that we've got here. And again, those of you that are new to the show, we do stream every new episode every Sunday evening at 7. And then on Fridays, we post the previous week's episodes on YouTube. And to find those, I suggest that you go to our Linktree, which is linktr.ee/dcog, and it has all of our social media and very quick links over to the Guardtower as well. You can find their Twitch, you can find their YouTube, and you can get a link right to their stores. They have amazing products for you there. And we want to give a big thank you to our buddies that we just met this week. And can you stand up here for a moment and show off? Got a bit of armory going on there. Yes, Stronghold Art Foam. Joel, he and his buddies made that, and it is incredible. It demonstrates why you get disadvantage when you're wearing that, trying to sneak.
Yeah, I will fail on all of the stealth others today. Yeah.
So, if you ever wonder about that disadvantage mechanic, well, there it is right there in live action on that. You can find the products that they offer on their Facebook, and that is all one word, Stronghold Larp Foam. Thank you so very much, Joel. We really do appreciate that. And I want to give a personal shout out to somebody that I ran into this week. Seth Skorkowski does a YouTube channel. Any of you all are familiar with him? When I started getting back into gaming again, I was using his channel as some inspiration. He is absolutely amazing. So definitely go check out his YouTube channel on that. And he even gave me an amazing set of dice that I'm going to abuse the players with at some point this evening. So anything that goes south on that, thank you, Seth. I appreciate it. Thank you, Seth.
Yeah.
Tonight, for our battle map, we have minis by our friend Chris Wolfgang over at Granitegard Studios.
Yeah.
And Connie Featherston has two
Tony!
minis that he's building into the class this evening. And we have another gentleman that has set a lot of scenery that you see there that is custom made for us. But we're also using Warlock tiles, and it helps fill in the gaps on things there. It's really an easy system for you all to use on that. We do have background music that should be playing by Pocket Bard here in a moment. And Pocket Bard, I think we're still doing that right tonight. We got that working? Anyway, if we don't, you should still check out Pocket Bard anyway. You find Pocket Bard at the Apple
App Store.
Any app store.
Yeah. Try that again, yes. Or the Google Play Store. I just couldn't get that going on there. But the neat thing about that is it is a new app that's going on, and they're always looking to increase their products availability too. So they're looking for feedback on it. It does seamless transitions between your background music and combat and even victory, should your players actually win. It has all kinds of different sound effects, which is a lot of fun. If you're doing cityscape stuff going on, or crashes of lightning, like I said, they're always adding new things to that, so definitely check out Pocket Bard. And one more time, a big thank you to the Guardtower for getting us this week. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. Yes. Now, I am super duper happy for something here real quick. Roger has an announcement that we have been waiting to do. Roger's a big announcement that we've been waiting to do for quite a while here, and
The big announcement. No, you'd be so kind as to pass down Hammer, please, and thanks. For those of you who have been watching our show from the very, very beginning, you may or may not have noticed that we have this diminutive Yeti that is making its way down to me ever so gracefully, that pops in and out of our episodes from time to time. What we want to let everybody know moving forward, to kind of reiterate the importance of going back, checking out some of the more small things that happen in the episodes, or for the new folks to go back and review these. Hammer has been and will continue to be in all of our episodes somewhere hidden. And for the individuals that are able to go back and keep track of where they popped up, where it is on the screen, give us some timestamps, and actually send that to us, we are going to have a whole bunch of awesome prizes over the remaining course of the show itself. Now, obviously the only shtick to this is that we're going to post the full formal rules and how you can fully get that information sent to us on our Discord server. So if you're interested in getting some cool minis, getting some awesome dice, you're going to need to, one, watching videos. Join our server and then get that information sent to us so that we can find out how to get the prizes sent to you. So this is Hammer. Get a good look, because you're going to be on the hunt very, very soon.
Director, would it be accurate to say that it's hammer time?
I tossed it up there. Somebody had to.
Sometimes it's just a hard pass here. All right, very good. So now I'm going to bore you with my voice as we go over some of the past events that have occurred here on the show. I don't really have a nice intro that runs, but you guys can listen to the smooth sounds of my voice.
The analog version.
Yeah, the analog version on that. So it's been over 400 years since the Great Cataclysm, a savage conflict that nearly spelled the end of both the Dwarvish and the Elven markets. Humans rose up against the brutal treatment that they had received from their Elven rulers, and led to a bloody revolt that consumed the last of their oppressors in the bloody criminal pyre of revenge. The period following the Great Cataclysm was a time of utter barbarism. Clawing their way back from the chaos, humans faced a long, difficult struggle to pull themselves out of the darkness. For most of humanity, the known world has shrunk to a small tract of land running along the eastern edges of the Dragonspine Mountains. This area is known as the Human Crescent. Our tale takes place in the Northern Caribbeans. In this region, the area known as the Sovereignty of Granitegard was once the political and economic seat of power for the northern areas. Granitegard was a thriving city-state with a large population and influence across the globe. A disaster struck one night 12 years ago, with a massive granite mesa, which was the namesake of the city, exploded. It pelted the urban cityscape with deadly chunks of rock and sent the populace running the streets in panic. Unfortunately, at the same time, monsters surged through sewers, adding to the chaos. Countless citizens were cut down. Very few managed to escape. Unfortunately, for those that were in the city gates did slam shut, trapping more than half the people there. The building has come in and around the city for 12 years. Today, Granitegard remains a dead city, and citizens scatter, and the land's open for conquest from its neighbors. As our story had begun, 6 strangers have been drawn to New Town, which is a settlement that sits on the bridge overlooking the dead city of Granitegard below. Whether drawn by purpose or fate, each of them has come with their own secrets. Luckily for them, a very wealthy benefactor by the name of Versialis Rex has brought the party together and tasked them with discovering what happened in Granitegard below. And while the party has sought entrance into the city, a very strange twist of fate had prevented them from access thus far. But they recently have discovered a secret entrance that allows them to breach the massive city walls. A hidden passageway long abandoned, an escape tunnel for the night of the catastrophe. Get that out there, nice of you. The party came closest when they discovered that, however, the passageway was sealed. But at the passageway, they discovered a ghostly knight. The knight had fallen when he sealed the tunnel and has been trapped down there for 12 years.
Just standing like that the entire time.
Honoring his commitment. He has tasked the party with helping his soul find peace, but to do so, he needs an amulet to cover. The party has agreed to do that, and that leads us to where we are right now. As we had last left off, the party had just left the lower garrison tower and was heading out into the Shambles, which is an urban sprawl that sits just outside of the city walls. You all turn around and did speech by, waving to your newfound friends at the tower.
So speech, I should
That's correct, Sir Speech, my bad. A little shortcomings on that, my fault. I do apologize. As you all step out in the evening, proceed towards the Shambles itself. The weather has changed. Temperature has dropped dramatically. There is a light rain that is currently falling, and in the rain there are slight chunks of ice that are dripping down. This begins to cool the heat on the ocean. Keep your close tighter. Head deep into the Shambles itself. Now, the Shambles has been long abandoned as we discussed, so you can see time and the weather has been very cool. All the buildings that used to be beautiful are caving in on themselves, and it is desolate and cold. Don't hear anything in the streets as you move through. However, Sir Ginger, you do remember the last place that you saw this collector that had the amulet was over by the bridge, over by the Queen's Bridge. And so I'm telling you, you're going to be kind of leading the party that direction, is that correct?
Yes, follow me. It's been 12 years, but everything still looks mostly the same. That's true. That sign.
All right.
Yes, this way.
Moving into the city itself and passing through towards the Queens Bridge area. You go through a section you can see that has been burned down and is kind of, yes, the area itself used to be one of these centerpieces for the citizens that lived here in Shambles. It was where they had done most of their trading and that sort of thing that had happened. However, within here, what you do see is that this area has obviously been utilized recently, and there is scat laying about. And it looks to be the same kind of scat that you recognized where the collectors sat.
I'm gonna go down and sort of like wild man, like investigate it, like kind of like poke at it, like I'm gonna roll like a survival check.
What are you doing?
Certainly need to do a con and a survival on that.
All right, con first, because this isn't my body, it's a rental.
Drive it like it's
All right, so con, I only got a 4.
4.
Plus whatever my health is, so like, yeah, that's, it's plus 4, so that's 8.
All right.
For survival, I got, I can get even low. I don't even tell you. No.
All right. So, Sir Gendron, as you go to the scat and you begin to examine it, get a little bit on your finger, do a bit of sniff test, and then the taste test on there.
No,
Gotcha.
no slurping.
Oh, it's just straight up. Oh.
Just a little dab. Little dab.
Oh, yeah, you choke that back a little bit and decide that is probably the worst decision that you've made today thus far. Yes, this is definitely horrible scat. What it is, you're really kind of identified that, except for that there appear to be some leftover bits of clothing tattered. So you might be on the right track for what you have. But as far as how long this has been here and who exactly left that, that's a good question for you. Maybe one of your other trackers or somebody skilled with that sort of thing might be able to help you with that.
Echo's just looking at him, just clicking.
It's been a while. That was, someone should have stopped me, honestly.
Echo, I'm more of I stick to the cities, so I'm not much for tracking. I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it.
That's not how
I saw it in a play once. I'm not a this kind of.
I don't think the way necessarily wants to question Sir Gendron's motives, although I do have some concerns for possibly why you thought that was a good idea.
Like I said, I haven't been alive in a long time. Used to the body, I forgot I had taste buds.
Well, you remember now.
Oh yes.
Why don't I take a look at this one?
Ranger, you need a ranger. Yep.
Thanks. Okay, and I will approach the debris and do my best to use my skills to track. That's a natural 20.
That doesn't take you a whole lot of time to realize what exactly Gendron was doing wrong on that from the start. It's pretty much everything. The scat was a good starting place. As you begin to look over there, you can actually see it's where a path was cleared through this debris, and something has gone through it and has left tracks because of the scorch marks and things along those lines where their footprints leave in the ash marks there. That was probably more what Gendron was thinking of doing. However, that being said, the scat must have distracted him.
I will point out the tracks and immediately start, like, kind of head to the ground, sky by my side, push on.
All right. What you do notice about these tracks is that the foot itself looks to be about 2.5 feet as far as the roof of it goes. Very almost comically long, almost like a clown shoe for a common. Very drawn up, but it does end some bleeding down. So it does appear to be those footprints you saw that first time you all came down into the shambles.
Do I see any evidence of the creature being wounded or
Any blood or anything of this sort?
Again, because you rolled that natural 20 on that there, yeah, no, you do not notice anything on that. As a matter of fact, it looks to be a very intact footprint.
Do you have reason to believe this is, in fact, the collector that we dealt with before? It appears the wounds we dealt have been undone here at the time. So prepare to fight it at full strength. But hopefully this time we'll have the jump on it, not the other way around. Sir Gendron, how much farther away was this bridge that you had mentioned?
Oh, a few names. Right.
A little shorter than that, because while the shambles does bring you around the front right there,
Like a lead or something like that.
it'll take you guys probably about 20-30 minutes to get from where you are in position. So, and most of that has to do with the fact that the way the shambles is laid out, there really wasn't a whole lot of architectural genius behind it. It's kind of what they began building, oops, we're into a dead end here on this, they go a little bit off of that. It is just a winding, that's it, kind of runs all. As you can see, you can move forward on the tracks on that. It's
Yes.
not hard for you to do it. You are focused on what you got right there. This leads you again further past the King's Road that would lead into the city and up into Granitegard. And as you come back down the King's Road, you can look up and see the ridge line that would lead back over to Newtown. Crossing over there, you can pass into another urban area, and this looks to be much more residential, until you come to a small clearing over there. And if you look down from where you're sitting, you can see what used to be a bazaar. There are a whole bunch of various tints and you can see faded colors. There used to be kite flies set up along there with the pattern that fall down. There is a very strange looking tree that has center of the market. It looks like the tree itself was cut out at one point. It's all jacked up looking. There are no leaves or anything on this thing. There are little rocks or something at the base of it. And all scattered throughout here again are these boxes and boxes of clever knocked over and top of rainwater sitting at the far edge as you look up towards the
Vaughn, do any of these tents look familiar to you? Is this
As if it were recent additions, or if I see heraldry from individuals from before the fall.
from before the fall?
Do I recognize anything from before?
Unfortunately, because of your position in the city, you actually spent most of your time inside of the walls and not really out here. This is actually more the more prominent area. And no, you don't really recognize anything down here.
No, it's an unfortunate business. I sadly did not spend much time here in this port of the shambles.
He was up in his ivory tower. He didn't come down and deal with us little people down here.
Marble, maybe, but ivory, no, I say no.
Ivory would be highly impractical to build with. You would require the harvesting of many creatures.
Yeah,
Highly unethical.
Do you recognize it?
I'll look around and see if let's see if I put my money where my mouth is here. I'll look around and see if I recognize any of these parts.
I think you've lost most of our money thus far.
I got some of it back now.
The symbols and stuff that are on there are basically symbols from the calendar for various holidays and things along those lines. You do see some torn up banners that are faded at this point. You really can't make out what was written on the banner or what selling might have been for what items they might have been selling to those people that might have read. What you do notice though, as the link kind of shifts, is this horrendous smell in the area. It smells very much like a pigsty, is the closest thing you can put your finger on. And looking about, you can see that there's all kinds of little dirt mounds scattered all about this bizarre area.
I take out a kerchief and I fling it out, do a little prestidigitation. Now it smells like our friend Rose's baked goods. And I just kind of cover my nose with that. Problem solved. But there is a problem solved for me, and that's what's most important. There is an absolutely god-awful smell coming from that way, and that I do not remember from my time here.
Is it, based on the notes that I took after our fight with the collectors, does that track?
As far as the type of creature, yes, this very much looks, given the troll nature of an area, that it might have staked out as its den. And as you look around the area there, you can see several openings in some of the buildings that have been recently just knocked over, and a hole has been knocked into the side of a dowel on that. There are other sections where doors have been ripped off their hinges. So there are multiple locations this thing could be hiding, looking around this bizarre.
I will pull out the telescope that Skeech gave me. Skeech, in hand. Maery, in hands. And I'm attempting to look for the collector.
Actually, it's
Perception. Not bad, not bad. That will be a 22.
22.
I hammered the dice so far.
You are looking about and you don't see the collector out there anymore. But as you are looking, again, you see those little piles of stuff that are laying about. And again, they have lots of different bits of cloth, and some of them have some armor and things. But at the base of the tree, there are lots of shiny little trinkets. There are rings, there are necklaces, and coins. All of them are arranged really, really nice. Almost kind of like an altar or somebody that has set up their prize groups.
Looks like almost a stash, a trophy pile, under the tree.
This is not entirely uncommon for the type of creature that we've been tracking. Although, I don't know about you, but I have not been able to place exactly where its den might fare better than I.
Well, unlike the Reverend, I think we should be following the smell. I think that's our best clue right at the moment.
This is around where I accidentally haunted that guy to death. Like I said, knew to haunt him. Overdid it.
A steep learning curve, I imagine.
Yes, it's a real tightrope walk. Would Sir Ginger know where the den is since he witnessed this
He
thing?
got eaten out in the shambles. This is the area where they must have retreated to after having a nice full meal.
Okay.
Putting my head together on this, can I try to place based on what I can see in the area from what Thresh taught me about tracking down some of these creatures?
Absolutely.
Okay. We want survival or you want investigation?
I want you to use survival. Because you're coming back into your
Well, that could have been better. It's a 13.
Okay. Again, you're using generalizations. You don't know a whole lot about this specific one, but again, using generalizations, the hole, it seems to be, and looks like to be an inn. Maybe where it would be resting, because everybody lots and lots of beds, things along these lines. Again, it is a massive sized hole that's been knocked inside of that.
Thoughts, everyone. The inn over there, I imagine there was a stash left old, but I don't believe the collector would have minded. If I were to place my bets, I would say that it's holding up in there.
Perhaps the quieter of us should go first, check it out.
Alright, I'll see.
Damon?
I think I'll tag along with you this time if that's all right.
Are you asking me?
Well, I'm telling. I'm going to go along with you because thanks to the training that you've been giving me for the past week or so, I'm feeling stealthy.
Well, you're actually doing a lot better than I thought.
I'm going to choose to take that as a compliment.
It's high praise, Rebecca.
Yes. All right, so what do we do? We drop down, he kind of crouches down.
All eyes go to Damon.
Oh, my leading.
I'm sorry, I've just grown accustomed to you leading us.
So this is the group roll. Roll with advantage on
It's me.
it.
Right?
Well, stealth is definitely in your favor on that. As you all begin to move into the bazaar area and away from where the party sits near the edge, the further and further you get into it, your feet are splashing in little puddles as the rain is collecting on what used to be packed earth. It's turning a little bit muddy and mucky right now. You can see stuff is running off some piles, but the smell in the air gets more and more intense. It's very stomach turning. All of you that have gone forward there, it's going to need a constitution check, please.
What about me smelling my fine smelling cloth?
You are the only one that doesn't have to do it.
Y'all looking kind of green under the gills. What's going on?
David?
I have lungs.
7. Echo?
15.
15. Reverend, you're fine?
10.
10. All right. So all of you are moving forward. All of a sudden, you see Damon at the beginning, at the lead, stops for a moment, has his hand back towards you, and you hear this sound. And Damon keeps his hand back towards you. Don't look. And slowly brings himself back into control. But you've never been around anything this repulsive in your entire life. The stench is horrific.
I think
Both
you
of
did a
you
good job.
recognize that stench very much is a predator, something that's eating lots and lots of protein. So it is horrendous and terrible, and you can taste it in the air, especially because of the rain and the wetness. So you will have some issues in combat should something arise. Just do all the rest of that.
So the Reverend pulls out another kerchief. Here, I'll give you some of my potion of good smell. Dabs that onto the kerchief, hands it to you.
It's interesting, Reverend. I haven't come across that in my studies.
Well, that's advanced alchemy. I wouldn't expect you to know that one.
All right, another lesson later.
All right. So as you move forward, you're all right about where the tree is at this point. Nothing has not freed you. So you're standing right about the 2/3 of the way through the field there, as far as the map goes. Reverend, you can look over at the base of the tree, and again, there are all kinds of glittery trinkets out there. All those that.
Glittery trinkets, you say?
Yes. What's that? Yes. So that would be all 4 of them are moved up to right about to where that sits.
I'm going to try to use my Death Touch sleight of hand to take a few of those trinkets.
Oh, let's go ahead and do it.
That will be an 8.
Not quite as deft as you had hoped on that. All right.
This really feels like a sort of classic trap situation.
As the Reverend begins to pull some of the trinkets away there, you knock over a couple of skulls off the pile. At this point, you're actually looking at as well. They kind of clatter and they drop into the mud next to you. And you hear this voice come out. I smell flesh. You can see the tree itself now begins to change and shift. And it's not the actual tree. The pieces, parts and branches begin to break off and snap as the collector kind of cracks out from the tree itself. Go ahead and place the collectors in the tree. Yes, let's try that.
Could have made that.
Here's the tree.
Yes. So,
Classic troll.
and again, all these pieces begin to drop to the ground, and it is right next to you. And he is going to reach over to grab you. It's going to be initiative to kick us off.
All right.
So here we go for the evening.
Come on. No.
All right, we are going to work our way across.
Okay, I'll take
Come on,
it.
you got it.
So,
Hey, Will, do I need to roll the 6-sided die on an initiative roll?
Oh, no.
oh, you got a one?
I may have gotten a natural one.
You are all at the end, unfortunately. You already know where that's going to be for Echo and Sky.
I'm just shocked at this abomination of a tree, and I'm just...
You have never seen anything quite like that in your entire life. Yes.
Yeah.
No, they're short.
Roll pretty nice. I got a skill already right off the bat. All right.
I'm good.
So I'm looking for 21 to 25.
I got a 23.
23, all right.
Oh, Mary.
Mary, all right then, Vaughn. And do I have anybody that is a 16 to 20?
16.
16? Well, wow, you guys are rocking it. Okay. Let's see, let's go 11 to 15. 11. Really? Okay. Wow. Yeah, so let's go 6 to 10.
Those numbers don't exist.
You guys have what are left.
High five.
What? You
That's what I
got
have.
a 1 as well?
No, I got a 4, so a 3.
Do I still go last with the 5?
What's that?
Do I still go last with the 5?
You
I got a
you got a
5.
1. So Gendron's going to beat you on that. So yeah, there we are at this point. And again, so Mary's actually going to lead us off on this. Mary, you are in the back, so you will have to either A, have something that's got some range, or stare down a little bit.
The one guy protects me, ugly son of a gun.
Is the collector within 5 feet of me?
The collector, I can't actually see, so.
Then yes.
I will tell you.
Nice.
Within 5 feet of you, yes. You're right.
Then
You're right next to the tree.
I will break out of my fear and with my guardian strike, as he goes to strike the Reverend unsuccessfully, I'm going for his legs with different dice.
Get him.
All right, the number to beat is 50. Meter beat is 50.
So that is going to be that won't beat it. So I unfortunately miss.
As you go swinging your blade out again, it's a little bit slick because of the rain. Your step where it just passes by you at the moment. And unfortunately does not. The contact that would bring us to Vaughn is the next in our lineup.
Being up in the throng of it, I'm going to immediately take out my crossbow from my side, and I will just kind of strike my hand at it like I've done before. I'll activate my right as it kind of erupts in flame. 10 fire damage. And I am going to go ahead and make 2 attacks as I go ahead and shoot at point blank range towards this thing. Yes, I went up there in the stealth caravan.
Okay, how far away?
I was wherever the Reverend and or Echo was.
Yeah, they were all together at one group there.
And I fire off the first one. That will be a 24 to hit.
24 would most certainly make a strike right now.
Ooh.
And that has fire damage.
It does have fire damage, yes.
So as you fire off the first strike, before you do that, as you break your hand out on the bolt itself, you catch, it slices your palm a bit, the blood strikes your bolt, and you can see it weave itself in as far as the magic goes for that. And fire off the bolt and strikes with it.
Interesting. So for the fire damage, then it will still be 6 points of flame damage. And the piercing itself would have only been 4 points.
4 points, so we're 3 points of damage. You have fire damage this round, so that's important.
And immediately you'll hear Vaughn scream out Reditus as he summons the bolt back out of its body.
So the bolt rips back out and travels back here.
And immediately puts it back in because I'm going to ignore my looting properties. And I will fire off for a 26 to hit. This time it is going to be another 6 points of fire damage and 4 points of piercing.
So 20. You have certainly drawn its attention at this point. It now looks up past the rubber and towards you. And the bolt still wedged in it and turning?
I'm going to leave it in this time.
So, okay, very good. That's important to know. Moving down, it has a special action. And it screeches at this point in time. And it is, as it's batting at the flame. The collector is going to move 60 feet to the building there to the far end. My laser pointer, right there we go. So move 60 feet over here. And makes a climbing roll and climbs up into the building and goes inside.
Does anybody get an attack of opportunity?
Not with its special ability on that. And it makes a disengage and it goes out. And it is snarling inside of the building. But at the same time this happens, on the gaping hole over there on the other side, you hear 2 sets of growls. So we are going to be moving down the line, and next comes to the rat.
Okay. Do we think anyone's in there?
I don't imagine anyone good.
Well, time to bring the house down. And I cast Thunderstruck on the building.
Nicely done.
So he'll have to roll. He's inside, so it's going to have to roll a Constitution
Battle
save.
from back here.
All right. I have a 19, and I have a 22.
Passes, but they're going to take 8 plus 6, 14, half 17.
All right, those we're going to take 9 points of
And well, wait, it's not made out of stone, crystal, or metal, right?
I don't know.
Well, it has a disadvantage on the saving throw if it is. Okay, that's yeah. So you hear this boom, sends it inside the building, and I also want to see if it weakens the structure of the building at all.
All right, as the spell goes off and you see the building shake, and unfortunately it has been a long time since anybody's done any proper maintenance on this building. First thing that happens is when that thunder wave rips, it blasts out the main glass that was sitting on the building itself, and then you actually watch the front wall flex for a moment, and you see the second story drop down real heavy, and it's just blast, which is dust and debris coming up from inside of it, and there's some very angry sounds from back inside the building.
And as I see that happen, I'm extremely pleased with myself. You see that?
Well, so Trevor.
How do you like that? And then I'm going to look over to Damon and give him some inspiration. I think you need this. There you go, my friend.
Thank you.
That's David, you're actually up next. I do believe that's the end of your actions that round.
I'll stick with the group.
Yeah.
Never a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should totally run off by yourself.
No,
Good things
I'm
happen
not.
when you get along.
We're all racing with the party, guys.
I'd like to use my bonus action to use Fleet Feet
All right,
and dash to the building that the collector went into.
very good.
Go inside.
And then I will hold my action until the collector comes back.
Okay. So you are preparing and waiting for the collector to come back on the boat. Very good. And we are going to move down to Anna at this point.
Oh, wonderful. Is it really me? I rolled a 3. I'm pretty sure. Did you have a 5?
I had a 5.
Yeah, I apologize, I wrote that down wrong. It's January then, my bad.
Am I
So high.
really far away from everyone right now?
You and Anna are both way back there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna like take out my maul and start like old man jogging. Like, I'm on my way. You know, like the armor and stuff. And I'm gonna go ahead and dash to use my full 60 feet.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't in the bag then? It wasn't in the box?
Oh, the ghost is invisible.
Yes, tactical issue. Always found your life.
Yeah.
I'm a paladin.
You're aware now?
Yes, I'm somewhere.
Yeah, I was somewhere.
Hey, Reverend, he looks like one of your pyramid schemes.
Yes.
Apparently you're napping back this
It's
week.
not a scheme, it is a business opportunity.
I'm a ghost, so that's on. That's on point. That's on brand. Yeah, I'm just gonna dash, and I'm also gonna activate my blessed weapon. As a bonus action.
Ooh, all work.
So that'll be 60 feet. Because I'm a regular old.
Except you're dead.
Except I am dead. Yes.
Nothing unnormal about that, very regular.
Yes.
All right, so that does actually bring it to Anna this time.
Oh, wait for me! And I'm also gonna use my action to dash and move the full 60 feet, yep. And use my bonus action to activate the armor of the one gad. So, yeah.
All right, and as you do so, you see the holy inspiration actually radiate out from center her here, and it begins to cover the rest of your body in that wonderful glow. Very, very comforting and very warm, especially dealing with this cold rain that's coming on. And anything else that you have going on this round?
That'll be it.
All right, Echo and Sky, what do we have going on?
So I'm going to send Sky to the front door near Damon, and Sky is going to huff and blow the door in
Yes.
using wolf. And I will follow up behind her and kick down the door.
All right,
See if we can see what's in there.
so 30 feet of movement.
I have 40 actually.
You got 40 feet? Okay, go ahead and give me a strength check on that.
Let's do that.
That's a natural 19 minus 1, 18.
Does not, the door does not have the structural integrity to withstand that. You boot that door right off its hinges. Doesn't even like try to open up, it just literally the wood falls apart as you kick it open there, the splinter of debris.
And is this the only exit I see is this front door?
Currently, that's all you see from where you're standing right here.
Then Echo is going to stick his hand just into the earth in front of the building, and you just see the wood start to splinter all around the inside the building as he uses his barbed bloom ability, causing a 20-foot radius centered on a point within 150 feet, so where the collector is. This will become difficult terrain, and it will do damage every time it moves. So the whole building, floor is lava.
Nicely done, nicely done. All right, that's gonna move us over to anything else got Sky doing this round?
Sky will ready an action. If it moves towards the door within her range, she'll bite it.
All right, there we go. And that's gonna move us back up to the top of the ground. Mary, your action.
Okay, well, I think I'm still running. So I'm going to continue to use my full movement. I'm wondering how close I can get.
So 30 feet forward from where Mary is currently standing.
How many feet?
I can go 60.
60. Okay. So you can get about, what? There. Right there.
Okay.
Halfway.
And the collector ran into that building, so I'm thinking about making my way to the back side to see if there's a back door, but
All right,
That's-
that'll be a
that's my
thought-
goal,
That'll be a
yeah.
thought that we'll cross on next round. Okay.
okay. And I also would like to put on my armor of the one god. It's my AC at 220.
All right. As you invoke your prayer there, once again, very similar to what Anna has that goes on there. You are enveloped, wrapped in this really protective glow around you. Again, you feel much more secure and a little bit warmer getting the performance going forward. And anything else that you have going on, you want to do this right now? I do believe that is your movement and invoking your ability.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and jump down to the collector inside of the building here. Not a good day for it. What is the, do I get a resistance to your damage?
Nope, in fact, you take damage just for fun. 5 piercing damage, and let me know if it moves. It technically can't see my ability either,
All right.
unless it looks for it.
Okay. The collector does move. And yes, there is a lot of it. It's going to take some damage. He's not quite sure what it is that's going on there. And it actually is going to move towards where the door sits itself. So basically directly in front of you all right there.
How much movement is that?
That would be about 10 feet.
Okay. So it takes another 7 and another 2.
So 9, so 34 damage.
Spells.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. And it is
Just splinters and feet. Legos on the ground.
nasty, nasty little things. I can't believe those things are correct.
And not to make your day even worse, but is it now in range of Sky?
Yeah.
Nope. He's 5 feet away at least.
Yeah,
Okay.
if Sky's, well, if he's by the door and Sky's by the door, unless the door is.
He did not run directly to the door. He ran in front of where it sits. So fortunately, I don't have a laser pointer that can really get to that angle right there. So yeah, he's strong enough not to get right out of the way.
You got it, guys.
So-
You got it.
He's actually directly facing in front of you there.
Okay.
And he is going to retch again. And this time he is going to retch at Sky. And that is going to be 11. I don't believe that's going to hit Sky at 15.
That will miss.
Okay. Again, because of the pain he's experiencing, he is unable to focus, and that you see this nasty splatter of mucus, stink eye. It's almost like a skunk, practically. And he is just twisting in pain. Bond's arrow is still sticking in. You can see some flame just every now and then poofing and popping out of it right there. And that is his particular action at this point in time, and that does bring us back around to Bond.
Go ahead, and I'm going to holster the crossbow that I keep at my side and won't be needing that. I'm going to leave the bolt in for the foreseeable future. I believe you described that there were other sounds coming from a different building.
The hole that you see there in that side building, the second story is going to be brought down. There's a bunch of debris, and you look towards it.
I'd like to go ahead. I know what Echo's got going on over there. I can see the group running to that. I need to stay out of that area anyway, so it's not crowded. I'm going to move my 30 feet over to that new area. I'm going to kind of get up against the wall, and I want to use my action to kind of just peer in and investigate and see if I can get a better sense of what is going on.
Okay. I would say if you are looking to do it without getting noticed yourself, go ahead and give me a stealth on that.
25.
25, excellent. So slide up to the building, press your back up against the wall itself, and as you peek into the room, what you see terrifies you. Go ahead and place our other 2 friends in that room there. You see that the collector obviously is not alone with the There are 2 other beings inside the room there.
Mr. Dungeon Master, would you say if they're in the building, then they're also on the
They are
spiky
in the
ground?
wrong room. They are in that where the pile is, yes. They are not in the room.
Neither.
Yes. They are in the room where the Reverend did his destruction.
So folks that didn't see, on I think the 3rd episode, we fought one of these things and it was a pitched battle.
You were also much younger and
We were.
experienced at that point in time. All right, and that's what you see lurking in the room and climbing up and out of the debris at this point. Both of them seem very, very upset. The one that has 3 heads that is growling in 3 different voices. And the other one is making these nasty, wet, sloppy sounds as again, his mouth comes all the way down the dead center here. The whole thing is pulsating and moving with the teeth. There's fluid coming out of it, and it's making just this nasty.
Yes, I pull myself immediately back to this. I begin making hand signs, gesturing into this building quite quickly and quite scared.
All right, and that is going to bring us to a special action, and the collector is going to, now, your thorn, that spike thing there, it is just the first floor, or is it the entire building?
It's a 20-foot radius, so I believe it would just be.
So yes, okay, so it's okay, so that would be up and down as well.
Oh, yes, I guess it would.
Ooh, nice. Well, unfortunately, he doesn't quite realize that's what's going on, so I don't metagame. And he rips through the ceiling and begins to pull himself up, even though he's taking damage. Go ahead and give me 2 bits of damage on that.
That'll be 4, and then another 4, 8.
All right, so 2. As he is just taking the damage, you can see this nasty, nasty black ichor, as far as blood goes, coming out of it. As it hits the floor and the wood, the little spikes and stuff that you have, they begin to lose their animation on that. And he lifts himself up and disappears up into the second floor of that building, and howling all kinds of pain and agony. That is going to bring us over to the Reverend.
All right, so I see that Vaughn is telling me that there's something in there, but I can't see what it is.
At the moment, no.
All right. I'm going to move. I'm going to move over next to Vaughn on the other side of the door there, if I can.
How many feet do you have?
30.
30. Okay. Well, if you get right in front over here.
Well, I don't want to go there.
No.
I don't want to be right in front of the door, but like off to the side.
Just
joining him, yeah.
There you go.
I know what I'd like to do is, am I able to see now what's going on inside there?
Unfortunately, no, because you would have a wall between you and there, but you can see Vaughn making.
You can see it's in my eyes.
Yeah.
Whatever you saw is apparently not good.
All right. Well, I'm going to hold an action, and if anything comes out of the room or that I can see, I'm gonna cast Taunt.
Okay. So, and you're holding your action on that. The next thing that ends up happening is something does come out of the room.
Okay.
The hunger comes waddling its nasty, leaky body. Which is
what?
Yep. The hunger comes out there, and as soon as it comes out, it is turning the face directly towards where you and Mom is.
So weird.
All right, so he's gonna have to make a wisdom save.
Oh, and should one fail that wisdom save with a 0,
All right, it's gonna take 7 damage, and it's gonna have disadvantage on its next attack.
all right, fantastic.
As it comes out the door, I yell, "Oh my God, you're ugly!"
It's not quite sure if it comprehends what you said, but it is looking past Vaughn and towards you.
He'd be really mad if he could read.
And one strange looking arm as it rears itself back. What you can actually see is it the front part of it opens up onto the lamprey's mouth, and it throws it right at you.
Oh man, all right, yeah.
And that is going to be wrong page on that. I do apologize. That is going to be a 24.
Oh, interesting.
I believe it.
Roll again. I pull out one of my luck potions and uncork it.
That is a 21.
That still will hit, but I'm going to give the luck to myself. I'll have advantage on my next attack.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So I do need you to make a con save, please.
Oh, yeah, con, my best ability. Nat 20. These are new dice.
It's all those tonics.
The arm stretches out and it strikes you here in your chest. And it does damage as the teeth pierce through your armor. And you feel like you take 10 points of damage.
Oh.
But unfortunately, as it begins to try to suck the blood out of your body, you just turn just right so it loses that grip and the arm retracts back towards the hunger.
You mentioned hit points really quick. Sorry, as a point of order. Noah, you two, you and Anna have the 5 hit points from last session. You still have those.
Yes.
All right.
And that ends the hunger's turn, and now moves down to Damon.
How far away am I from the hunger?
What will be the distance from Damon over to Hunter?
Let's see. You are about 30.
And it's back his turn to you, and it is focused on,
Oh, I'm sorry, 25 feet.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna run forward and I'm going to attempt to stab it in the back. Like I
rogue
do.
things.
As one does.
That's what I'm done.
Well, this is the duty.
While I've distracted it,
That's a, that is a 6.
6. As Damon is rushing up, blades out. Unfortunately, again, it is wet. There's a little bit of ice in the rain, and you slip the last second. You don't fall down, but you skid forward, and you just kind of, as you stagger. It doesn't seem to have noticed you at this point, so you're very focused on what's in front of it, but your blades do not make contact with it. Any other actions that you're doing as well?
So by the way, one of the chefs, Abel, he had made you guys before you left some treats and cookies, 6 cookies, 1 each, and you can use a bonus action to eat one of those cookies and gain 3 temporary hit points. They last for 8 hours, so you're going to use them.
Nice.
Nice.
There we go.
Solid.
All right, we're going to move to a special action for one of the
I
villains.
meant to text you guys about that.
All right. So looking back over towards Vaughn and the Reverend, the Hunger is going to use a tangle attack. He's going to try to scoop up the Reverend, and that's going to be a 17. Does he still have disadvantage?
well, I don't think you rolled. Yeah, I don't think you used the disadvantage the first
I
time.
got the second one.
Oh, did you drop the third one? So my blood potion.
No, I did not. All right, we'll give you that on that. No problem on that. So that was a 15 that time plus, so that'll be a 22 on my second. I think the first one out of that.
So it would be what?
That was a 17, I believe.
Yeah. All right.
I apologize.
Arcane barrier up. Block it. One of my trinkets.
Not
You won't give me the one guy that protects me.
Move it forward, move it forward.
Vaughn, help, please.
Here's the tentacle on that, and this time it does not do that little lamprey attack. It actually looking to kind of scoop you up with it. And of course, you're just not able to get it as you panic and kind of staggering away there as you're hoping for the one guy. Yes. And yes, moving back down our lineup here, we have Ginger.
All right, so this is a couple of jogging paladins. Making up for, you know, marching song. Am I within 30 feet of the hunger? Perchance? Can I make it? All right, so that's like the closest bed.
So 30, yeah, so 30 feet, yeah, they're all, there's a collector there, there's a under and somebody. So you are in the building.
All right, I guess we'll just full round dash against him and be like, oh, I'm big, such a go.
Is it 60 feet?
Yeah, 60 feet, yeah. I need a snack. I'm gonna pull out the cookie while I'm running.
This is a good coffee time.
Yeah.
All right. So you're like shoving it in, like, you're trying to run and eat. Okay, let's just, that's great. And next we move down in the lineup. So. The wall where the Reverend and where Vaughn are, I need both of you to make an acrobatics or dexterity or whatnot check. Something to avoid dexterity based action there, because you're not going to like it if you fail.
21. Might I please have the 6-sided die?
So, let's explain it to the audience. If you roll a 1, it's not an automatic horrible thing happens to you. However, what you do earn is a favor of rolling this blank die, except for this one red dot. Don't roll the one red dot.
It would be good TV.
It's not red! It's not red this time. Once you hang on to that, I can see you're gonna. Now, just to let you know, if I roll a 1, guess what? I get to drop it to you. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. All right, so you avoid the most horrible fate that you could possibly have on that. But from behind the wall, you hear all 3 heads screech in rage at the same exact time. And the berserker crashes through the wall itself and destroys the wall and knocks Reverend somehow is just knocked out of the way without any damage, and just kind of pushed it aside.
Oh,
Vaughn, however, is trampled with
yeah.
some very heavy feet there. Yes. And you take 14 points of damage from being run over there. And you are knocked prone.
That's great for me.
And it runs past him and out to the center there, because it is running in a straight range and actually is facing the wrong direction. And he's flipping around. And he's stalling around looking for his next target at this point. It now moves down to Anna.
All right.
Anna, as you're sitting there, you see the berserker crash on the wall. He's kind of pushed out of the way. You see Vaughn knocked down and just trampled into the mud in the muck.
Oh no. I am also going to copy my new hero and eat my cookie as I sprint forward. Yeah.
You guys like parallel sprinting, jumping?
Yeah.
Just
Like,
all right.
we gotta learn from the best. Yeah. Carpal, yeah. Can I make, and I'm gonna run to the guy who just came out. Can I make it there with 60 feet of movement?
Yeah, 60 feet, you can make it, yeah, right, close to the circle.
Sweet. Great. That's around
All right, so we close the distance between you and the berserker there?
Yep.
All right. Anything else you're able to do this round?
I hope that'll be it.
All right, Cookie Munching and Run. All right.
Yes.
And that is going to bring us over to Echo and Sky. So from behind you, Echo, you hear the snarl and crash as the berserker comes out. You also hear the wet, nasty, horrible sounds. From the hunger there, you see that the collector has gone up onto the second floor. What are you and Sky doing at this moment?
So I can't see the collector anymore?
No, he is gone from you currently. Unless you go into the building or try to scale up the outside and get in the second story.
I'm sure it's fine.
I just put a hand on Sky and I go, focus fire, and point towards the triple-headed guy, and we're just both gonna dart towards it.
All right.
And with her 50 movement and my 40 movement, we're gonna try and flank it. So her on, that side, perfect.
Very good. And again, it's back his turn to do at this point in time.
And you said my spell went away inside the building?
What is the duration of that?
1 minute, I believe.
1 minute. Oh no, it's still up and active. He took damage when he went up for the second floor. You just can't see him. So that spell is still active within that radius.
We're gonna start with Sky. She's going to, I yell, go for the legs! And she's going to attack. That's good. 23 to hit.
23 would certainly hit. What is the save on dexterity on that?
That is a DC 13 strength saving throw, or it will fall over.
Fantastic. All right, a 15 prevents it from falling over.
Okay, and that'll be 13 piercing damage.
13 piercing.
And now Echo will go with his 2 strikes. That one will hit with a 25 and a 24. So
Yes.
doing some damage.
All right. So what was the damage on both of those?
Oh, I rolled double ones for damage, so that'll be 14 slashing.
14 slashing.
Double ones for 14.
And I'm locking him in. Can I make eye contact with any of the heads?
As you rush up and
She was like barking.
that one head is certainly focused on you at this point, and that is going to bring us up to the top of the round, which is going to be Maery.
Okay, so I would like to do a ranged attack, but I do still want to be closer than I am right now. So maybe,
30 feet, 300 something.
yeah, maybe 30 feet. Okay, great. And I would like to cast Holy Bolt at this guy at 2nd level.
At the berserker.
Yes, the guy in front of me, yeah.
Arctic that.
And I missed. Yeah.
So as you fire the holy bolt, and it shoots off towards him, what actually ends up happening is it does actually strike him, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, it does not seem to affect him when it gets hit. You're not quite sure whether you just have not concentrated on a prayer well enough, or what have you. It does, and just dissipates as it strikes around. It's his blood that moves around from there. Are there any other actions you have, any reactions, or anything else along those lines?
I believe that's all I can do.
All right, we're going to move towards the collector. And from the second story, all right, the collector leaps out of the building and is going to land on Echo. And you go ahead and do a strength-based check. You can use athletics.
Okay. Did it ring through my spirit guy?
It is going to take damage from that,
Okay.
but it is still going to land. And your bolt is still right?
Yes.
All right, the bolt's still right.
And this is a strength save, that you said?
Yes, sir.
That was a 13 for me.
13. Okay, so let's go ahead and deal with the damage from the collector right now. It's going to take 2 of your damage.
14.
All right, yeah.
So another 14.
And the damage it takes is 8.
So 8 is the total damage. it
Yeah,
takes.
I rolled a 14 for my save.
14 for your save?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, incredible Hulk.
Right? Eight.
Yeah.
Lifts it up over your body, throws it back.
Trying to get attention of these 3 heads, and I just see the shadow. You've ever been at the pool and someone jumps off the high dive.
You managed to take this one.
Really?
Like the tree branch.
I just
Exactly. You take 6 points of damage from it, which is nice because it wasn't the full amount on there. So it hits you, but he just doesn't quite land directly on you. He kind of rakes you down with those nasty, wiggly toe claws, and now he's right behind you. So he's going to, actually, no, that's all he can do this round because that was an action that he, okay, got him up there. All right. It does move down to Vaughn at this point. I wish I could have something more exciting than that. So.
You got it. Vaughn takes a deep breath in, and you've all seen him do this before as he exhales calmly in this chaotic scene. There's a little bit of a red mist comes down. He's going to use his bonus action to put his Slayer's focus onto the one that is attempting to scoop up and slurp up the Reverend here. And I'm going to go ahead and use my 2 attacks with my rapier, and I'd like to specifically call this. I'd like to go ahead and go for a piercing attack on its long, lamprey-like appendage, and then I want to try to slash through that and separate that from its body.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Oh, I guess.
I just have my movement to stand up as necessary, exhaling the mist as I exert myself, because I just got trampled.
15 feet, you can still close the gap on June range of that.
First attack is an 18.
He will certainly hit.
And that is going to be that'll be 9 points of piercing for the first one, and then 3 points of necrotic damage.
All right. As you stab in with the rapier right there, it is not necessarily the cokiness of your attack with the rapier. It is actually necrotic and begins actually tearing at the muscle fiber on the nasty little lamprey arm thing it's got there. You can actually see the musculature and the skin of it begin to separate.
So I'd like to finish the job.
Some filet.
I don't know if that will hit with a 14.
14 on him. I'm sad to say that actually hits.
I stab it in with a pierce, and it's rather than coming in for a second attack, I kind of just like rip up through it with the bladed side of the rapier, and I go in, and that's going to be only, this time that's going to be 8 points of piercing and just 1 point of necrotic damage.
Excellent thrust, Your Majesty.
Thank you, so gentle.
All right, now as you begin to down and then up, it does actually break it apart. Again, the necrotic damage is what's doing a lot of the internal damage on it, separates the fibers, and the nasty looking mount, all piece of that falls forward, separated from the body, and it kind of swings and comes back, spraying this nasty, disgusting stench of fluid everywhere.
Free action to look disgusted.
Like that, and it shifts and kind of repositions itself. And that, you said again, that nasty mouth. But then you see a second mouth open here, and another mouth open up here on this side, and that same gross arm now begins to kind of break apart into a second tentacle.
That was a mistake. It was a mistake, everyone.
All right. That is going to move us down the line here to a special action from the collector. So the collector is going to attempt to scoop up Echo with a grapple. Okay. Contest of strength on that, or you can try to get out of the way with your athletics. It's going to be 11 to you.
I can use acrobatics too.
But more certainly, you can just like sidestep it like a
Don't think it's gonna happen with a 10.
No. All right, so the collector pushes down and he grabs you, and you are currently grappled with him on.
Okay.
All right, and that is the action that he has right now, because that is a 2-stage. That's going to be going on.
It's gonna be a what?
So, moving down,
We can stop now. I mean, it's fine.
Is my Blessing of the One God still active?
I should still be his concentration. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So use that for the save. So
I believe it's an
Or just
ability
once.
check, right?
it's saving throws too.
Would a 12 have done it?
A 12 would have beaten my 11. Something like that.
Up to you.
Up to you. Unfortunately, when I make a boo-boo, I just eat it that round or drive forward, so unfortunately, you're gonna have to eat it and drive forward.
Echo thinks about the blessings. I shall use that. As he's going to grab
I can have
I
you still
use
have
the spell slot for this.
it.
spell slots. What is that?
So, anything else you're gonna do at this point in time? Again, you will, and his reverence. You jump backward and threw me off on that. Oops. So yes, go ahead, Rev. What are you doing at this
All
point?
right, I stand up from getting out of the way of that wall coming down. Stand up, brush myself off. Say it's time to play a little 3-card money. Take 3 playing cards out of my pocket, and I shuffle them, toss them down onto the ground. And from each one of the playing cards sprouts up another Reverend Goodberries. Now there's 4 to me.
Everyone is definitely not prepared for that.
Oh my wonder. That is not what we need.
And now we're going to have to decide which one of me are you attacking. And I'll also spend one use of my Reverend's inspiration to play our little shell game. Start moving my pieces around the board. Now, Damon, Vaughn, Maery, and Anna can move their movement speed, and you also get 5 temporary hit points.
Amazing.
That's cute.
Yeah.
And then in this chaos, I'm also gonna stay where I am. I'm pretty busy.
I do.
Yes, please.
All right, let's go ahead and go from this side across.
Okay, I would like to move over next to, okay, on this side.
You don't want to be too next to me right now. In a situation.
I'll be more recent.
30 feet.
You can move in that.
So, a favor, if you would allow it. I believe I was already within 5-foot range because I had been attacking the hunger with my rapier before. So I am right there. And I want to use my movements to climb onto the hunger's back. And I want to get in essentially a position where I can stab down and Drake's brainstem.
He won't take an opportunity attack.
Wow.
As I've mesmerized the little big beasties with my shininess during their days while moving around.
I think we're just going to need to imagine
It's super fair.
It's time to use.
All right. So Vaughn moves back around, and as you touch this thing to climb up it, you are repulsed to a very core. The flesh is just stench that you're not quite sure you're ever going to be able to wash out of your clothes. Cold and slimy to the touch, and it really smells like rotten death. But up it, you climb to the top, and as you're up here looking down, you can actually see into the gullet. You can where that giant mouth is open, and there is just nothing but this massive, just clog of teeth. And they're all just pulsing and moving in there, looking like whatever gets past them, there's going to be torn out real quick right from there.
And I climb up there and I turn around and I extend my hand to where Damon is back behind.
I should have seen that. All right, moving along.
I'm going to, seeing Vaughn's repulsed face, I'm just kind of hesitant to get up there, but I'm going to grab his hand and I'm also going to climb up onto the hunger's back.
Acrobatics with advantage.
Pushing you guys. All right. That's my skills here. All right.
Oh.
Hey, look, it's like a bunk bed.
They know it.
13?
13. Vaughn, as you are pulling Damon up, Damon is literally halfway up his back, so you are holding him there. Didn't quite get in the position that you were looking for. So literally, you're up on the shoulder area there, reaching down, pulling him up, and Damon's feet were kind of mid back. Come on, and it's just again that slimy, nasty, sweating, grows back. Your feet are just not quite finding the purchase on there that you're looking for. There's a little bit of Scooby-Doo leg thing action. And anything else that you're going to be doing at this moment with your movement? I think that's about it. And was there anybody else that had the ability to move on?
I can move. Yes.
Don't forget your headphones.
Yeah. I'm going to. Can I get within range of the three-headed beastie with my 30 feet? Yeah.
Quick, slow down.
Sorry, Jeffrey.
This cookie's amazing. Yeah, perfect. All right. Yep.
You close the gap on that.
Close the gap.
I don't believe you get an attack with along those lines. It's just large to move about.
Just go.
Okay. And that has us moving down the next line to wherever that's your bit. Everybody got their movement about, and now we actually move over to the hunger. And he takes that napkin with the axe that he has and goes to scratch it back. He swings it up and over like this. That's going to be a 19.
Yes, that'll do it.
And I'm going to say odd and even. What if you drop a die?
After you.
No, you go ahead. I've been not rolling too great tonight.
What side would you like? Any of
I go again.
It is in fact even.
Even. Hi.
Oh, no.
So that would have been your AC that attack would have gone against on that.
What was it?
19.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. So the axe itself is going to do 13 points of damage to you. And he just swings that nasty blade like, and unfortunately at this point you're going to have to make an acrobatics test to maintain your grip.
You got it. I believe. No!
And Damon drops back down into the mud. And we now move forward to Damon. As Damon gets hit, he loses his grip and he drops back down. You're kind of sitting on your duff at this point, looking up.
I bet you're wondering how I
The worst posterior, the worst posterior you've ever seen is directly.
So you had that day.
I am having a bad day. I guess we're just gonna dip lower and slash at his legs, just preferably the back of the knees. Where
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you go.
You are definitely in a position to do that. You don't even have to stand up to do that. Did you beat a 12? Or beat a 12?
12.
Yes.
All right. So, Damon's bad day. The sword doesn't continue here. It's, you turn the page and something good happens now. So you did beat the owner on that. So go ahead and do your damage.
Vaughn is within 5 feet, correct?
That is correct.
I am the Blackfeet.
Goodness gracious, I'm rolling horribly tonight.
Did he curse all of you guys?
I think he did.
Thanks, Robbie.
That is 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. Ooh.
He cursed all of them. My goodness.
All right. 6 points of damage, and you slash at the back of the calf, and it opens up. And again, that same nasty fluid is coming out of this thing. And it's not any bigger than it was before. Anything else you're doing?
I'm going to use my bonus action to use Fleet Feet to disengage and back up about 5-10 feet.
Let's go ahead and move damage about 5 or 10 feet. It's your choice.
Which, this one?
Back away.
Well, back, there's 2 directions, this way?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be next to this guy.
No, back. Like,
Just
like towards the building, back.
Okay, yeah, so you're gonna be next to this guy,
No, like,
this way. Okay, you're still within melee, this
no,
way.
I'm talking about like back, like that
Okay,
direction.
how far?
10 feet.
10 feet, right here.
Sure.
I mean,
You know what? Leave it there. It's good.
Perfect. All right.
You're good.
every direction.
We're good. It's all good in the hood. All right. And that brings us to a special action at this point. So the Berserker is going to do a sweep attack with his club. And I do believe he'll be able to catch, looks like, Maery and Sky.
Is he just here? But that'll get like way more intense. So.
Thanks, Bye-bye.
Well, when it was just one, we're like, yes! This thing.
Yes!
Oh.
Yes. All right. So apparently, being very distracted by all the actions going around, when he does that big swoosh with the club, it literally goes right over your head. It's kind of about the same height. It goes over Sky's head as well. It does, however, create a whole lot of wind as it happens. Yes.
With my reaction, I will Guardian Strike him from the collector guard and just lunge out. That'll be a 19 to hit.
19 to hit. A 19 would be a C on that.
That'll be 8 slashing damage.
8 slashing damage. All right.
Oh.
So, being that intelligence is not its strong suit and he is in a rage, the attack has come from that particular side where you and the collector are both standing. For its second action, it's going to strike that direction.
Yay!
Yay.
So, Echo, you and the collector are going to split the damage on that.
Lovely.
And it is a total of 40, so you both are going to take 20 points of damage from that.
What was the hit roll?
That would have been a total of a 21.
Yeah.
And the collector drops you and folds in half and slams backward. You kind of just drop straight down, but as he puts the main part of the horse, he's now lying against the wall, little flames still coming out of him and making this horrible, like, swirling head noises. And the Berserker does not seem to be terribly concerned about that at this moment. He seems actually very jazzed and excited, almost like see it hulking out a tad bit more.
Yay!
And that is going to move us down to Gendrick.
All right, I'm finally in combat.
That would be
By
correct.
the way, thanks to Tony for an extra little bit.
Hey, all right, yay! I'm gonna go for the hunger. All right. Hey, chicken fat. and then I'm gonna attack. Okay, so that is a 13 to hit.
A 13 for the hunger beats the 12.
All right, and then I'm gonna go and roll my second attack as well. That would be a 22 to hit.
There you go.
All right, that would do it. That would do it.
All right, so my 2 hits. So that is going to be. Oh my god. Can you hand me a few d6s?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, go for it, go for it.
Oh, yes,
More?
yes, yes.
we love a big pile of dice.
Yeah.
So that is going to be. That is going to be 30 damage. So I'm just gonna like do one big swing, and I'm just gonna keep going with it, circle back, and then do a second one right on it.
Yeah.
Holy
Go ahead
face.
and describe how you kill this guy.
Your Majesty, get off that thing!
Of course,
And then I'm gonna absolutely just hit whatever its face is. I'm just gonna remove that. Yes.
Considering the fact that it's going to be very difficult to remove it, I'm imagining it more or less tears open like a nasty water balloon when you strike it.
Yes, yes.
It really doesn't have much of a face. It's kind of all merged right into its body, and it, this nasty spray of whatever was inside of it, you can dwell on that however way you want to. Go ahead and give me an athletics check there, Vaughn.
Can I auto you for acrobatics?
Oh, sorry, acrobatics. I apologize. Oof. And Vaughn comes tumbling off into the nasty gore and splashes into his face.
But as he is falling down, though, there is just like awestruck stars in his eyes. Sir, gentlemen, as he collapses on the ground.
And as a reminder, everyone within 10 feet of me is within my aura of protection, so they get a +4 to all saving throws.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it wouldn't have helped you with that still.
I don't care. It's worth it to watch him anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else that you wish to do this round, Sir David?
No, that's good enough for me.
All right. That moves us over to the Berserker, and it has noticed what you have done, and now is going to. All right. I have a 21 and a 19 for attack on Sir Gendron.
That's me.
Yes, he is going
Those will
to try to pound you into the ground there.
those will both hit.
Okay, that is going to be a total of 80 points of damage.
80? I'd like to see the receipts, please. Even with the cookie.
I'll tell you what, it's like in full-on berserk mode, and every round that it stays, it gets stronger and nastier.
I'll be like, oh, bring it on, identity crisis.
As Gendron's standing there, the berserker spins back around and brings the club down, and as he's kind of gawking at the other one, he's still like, yeah! It hits his rented body on the head, and kind of turns it inside out as it's driven down into his shoes. The arms kind of pop off, and poof, it is gone in this nasty spray. And what you have is this ghostly body standing there like, and the rented body is no longer there. And it is now like, super happy about what it has just done. So, that would move us over to Anna, and you're the next one in the line.
Oh my gosh. Okay, having just been like super inspired by watching Sir Gendron take out the hunger, I'm gonna turn an attack and then die immediately. I'm gonna attack. And am I flanking with anyone? Would I happen to get like?
It has actually spun around, so it was facing where Gendron was.
Great.
Whatever
Okay.
direction Gendron was.
This way, so.
Go give me an acrobatics to see if you want to.
Okay.
I think that'll do it. That's a 22.
Yeah, that's quite graceful you land. You took that blow and tanked it.
Okay, super great. So I'm flanking this. So okay, fantastic. Okay, so that's gonna be like a 20 and
That would
change to
certainly
hit.
hit.
Great. Okay, and then I'm gonna roll for my. I'm gonna take my second attack. Okay, and then with advantage. Come on. Oh man. Okay, so that's still that's an 8 plus 7, so it's a 14 or something. 15 to hit. Yeah. Great. Okay, so
15 is the number to beat your beat, so those will be struck.
fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to hit, and then I'm going to expel a smite on each of those. Double ones. That's okay. So that's 10 points of damage for the first. Oh wait, no, I don't need all of those. All right. And then, double ones again. Oh wait, actually, so for the first one, it was actually 14 points of damage. Oh, and I get to re-roll ones on my die. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a 6, yeah. So it was a 6, so it's actually, okay, so the first one.
Carry the one,
Carry the
5 by
one.
4.
Yeah, okay, so it's actually a 19 points of damage on the first one. And then, okay, great. Okay, so that's a 10, 14, plus 4, so another 18 points of damage on the second.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you were to kill this thing, how would you?
Excellent form.
Thank you. Oh my God. So my first one, I'm gonna take out his back knee. So bring him down to his knees, and then the second one, bring it down on the middle head. Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So as you swing
Yeah.
forward, you hit that knee. Not only do you hit the knee, it basically blows it out. And you can see it just crumples back down. That really smug, very satisfied look that it had on its face. Kind of like what Sir Gendron had. It's repeated once again. But this time when you bring yours down, it just doesn't quite come down to the middle head. What you do is you hit the first head, and basically this nice cocaine kind of moves. And you kind of watch them go flying off and bouncing over towards where the collector is still smoldering over there. And things become incredibly quiet at this point. All you hear is the pitter patter of the rain. It still smells absolutely rancid and horrible. There's no movement from the three bodies of them.
I was in those cookies, because I have to say.
I'm going to run over and send Sky to double tap the collector.
Vaughn is right there by
And she crits when she hits a prone target.
She does.
Oh, yeah.
So will a 16 hit it?
Yes.
Okay, so that will be, and you do max damage and then
You handle crits, so make them a lot more crunchy.
so plus 7, so 19, 22 piercing.
All right. So it was dead. And what you simply do is make sure it is a giant, disgusting mess because the flame arrow is still in it, preventing it from doing any of the regeneration that it could have had. Oh, sorry.
Redditus.
My bad. Bad. And basically, as you all are kind of sitting there, it's all quiet except for the sky just tearing this thing apart. And the one area that wasn't covered in gore and nastiness is now covered in gore and nastiness.
I just pat her on the head. Good girl.
She's just probably happy for it. If you're taking your decent. All right, and again, as I said, it is very quiet over here.
And this is not the first time that we've seen something that exuded that this black ichor is connected to this mystery woman that you all believe to have witnessed in the shambles before. I think Skeech had mentioned something about this as well. I want to go over and I want to give an arcana or an investigation to see if I can collect some of this black ichor.
Yeah, definitely in our character.
I think 30-20.
30-20, okay. This base creature, as far as the hunger went, as you are examining the form, it must have at some point started off as an open. And something has manipulated it. And you can look and see where things have kind of grafted into it. And there are all these like stitch marks that have healed over time on this thing. The berserker seems to exhibit the same type of beginning as a odor, but has had 3 of them stitched together. And again, healing over time. The collector, unfortunately, it's simply impossible to tell what has differentiated this particular troll from the other types.
Do you all recall that Skeech, when they were trying to attempt us to not go into the city directly, that they had shared that there was someone who called themselves the surgeon, the physician? They were holed up in the old hospital of Granitegard. And he points out to the stitches and some of the things. These aren't natural creatures, not beasts that I've studied or hunted myself. This is something that's been created. Augmentation.
Unnatural.
Very echo.
Skeech was pretty adamant that we don't pay visits to the hospital, but I'm wondering if eventually we're gonna have to.
If that is the source of where this is happening, then I'm afraid that if we look to reclaim the city in any end, we have to put an end to whoever or whatever is doing this.
While they're talking, can I look at the pendant?
As a matter of fact, you can give it a shot.
All right.
Sadly,
Okay.
unfortunately, they're not going to be able to search through the actual file. I'm just going to look to see what's
Right.
found.
I can only look. Well, that'll be an investigation.
Yes, sir.
Oh, 17.
Hey, all right.
Hey.
As you are looking about, you don't actually find it out sitting in the open, but what you do find is this chain that's sitting out of this old pile of filth. And that looks very familiar.
Hey, excuse me, can I get someone with hands?
I volunteer as tribute.
Oh, good, because that's not a mean job.
Yes.
Quite deft with your hands.
Occasionally.
My wife's locket is there in that pile of offal and what have you.
Oh. Reach into the pile. Go ahead and make a constitution check on that, please.
Yeah, all right. But you hold it. I magically clean it with prestidigitation. And Ginger, I clean this up for you.
Thank you, much appreciated,
You're
Bradford.
welcome.
I'll put it in my pocket for you.
I do a lot of good things if you stick around.
Now, you all looking at the area here, or we had?
That's simply, it's at least been in my experience that this is more than likely some type of kind of points to the tree where there's been some odd and baubles and trinkets. If they chose to hold up there, I imagine there's a reason for this, and I wouldn't mind taking a look around before we head away. Jim, I know you want to return this.
I am eager to move on to the afterlife, and see my wife again. But no, if you want to look around and drink you know, it's fine.
All right, so we're gonna look around for trinkets and baubles. You heard it, man.
Starts walking away. Anna's just like staring at you, like torn between must collect data and.
I'm looking extra ghostly.
As I said, there are a bunch of rings and gems and things and that are around. You can pick them up and count them later. You do see that there is a very fine looking cloak that is there. And strangely enough, a crate of the most delicious looking fruit you've ever seen in your entire life.
What kind of cloak is this?
It's very fine.
Well, if it's something that looks kind of shiny or fancy, I'm going to go over and take a look at it. But one thing that you all realize is that each of you that I've been talking to, that's been a different one of me.
Can you revert now? I think I can only handle one.
Oh no, I'm going to get as much out of this spell as I can. I realized I can get my own barbershop quotations. I can hear it. And one of the reference starts going, and I'm doing this as I'm picking up this cloak. I'm singing, I'm giving us some musical accompaniment.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know we evolved to this.
And then as during the song, you just see the other three dissipate as the spell ends.
Looking at the cloak itself, it appears to be made from a very dark oilcloth. It has a very dense weave, and it looks to be work. As the rain is striking on it, it's not absorbing in words. Charcoal in color, and the interior is lined with a very fine brown brownish fur. You can try to identify the fur, but if somebody has a survival or something nature, you can look at that. And it is slightly oversized, but again, very well made.
What's this about the fruit though, also? I'm so curious.
Yeah, there is a little basket of fruit that looks like at some point it's been brought over here. It's sitting out in the rain. It looks succulent and tempting. It looks almost like a peach, but it is shaped like a grapefruit.
I am not one to tell you what to do with your own body or decisions. I typically wouldn't eat fruit we find in these types of places.
I should go for those.
I mean, right? It looks amazing. How's it smell? Is it good? Yeah.
It smells like ambrosia.
Would you like me to identify either the fruit or your cloak?
Yeah, fur seems like it's right up your alley.
Okay, as he hands the cloak over, I'm just gonna take a little bite.
Go ahead and give me a Constitution save.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, maybe you should.
It's
You
blood.
are the-
I think Bless is still up, right? Okay, that's a, that's, yeah.
Are you here, Sir
I'm
Gentry?
within 10 feet of you, so you can take a four.
Oh, heck
Plus
yes.
4 to it.
Okay, so that's a 17 plus, that's a 20, so it's 24.
24. All right. Anna munches away on the fruit, and it is so succulent and rewarding.
I highly recommend
And
this.
you have literally never tasted anything that is this. The one thing you can kind of compare it to is that delicious drink that Versailles gave you on the first evening you were into
This is amazing. Yeah.
And I rolled a 28 for the identification of spur.
It appears to be a form of fox. It's a type of fox.
I knew
Sorry about that.
Yeah, right, that's what you do though.
Yeah.
And outside of that, again, it's just you can tally the amounts. So I think later give that some more time, but it's just disturbing. So it doesn't think anything else that stands out in this particular. Mostly, it seems like he was just arranging these beautiful trades around these areas.
Well, as I was, before we had all this nonsense, that I'm going to grab some more of those trinkets and stuff in my pockets with them.
It's just a troll nest. They're like magpies, really. They like their shinies.
As you're doing at this point.
I believe it's been long enough under the time we managed.
Excellent. Off we go.
All right, so back to town. It's not too terribly hard. At this point, we go on a backtrack. Once you hit that Kings Road, follow back over to the switchbacks, which lead you up that really exposed and weather-beaten area up to the ridgeline. And after the tree road,
Before we go into town, can I have a word with Sir Gentry?
I'm sure he's not necessarily all ears, but he's there.
So, Jim, it's been a remarkably long time since you've lived us in life and since you've seen your wife. I don't know if this is uncomfortable or unnatural, but I would like for you to be able to say goodbye correctly. Give her a hug.
I'm not sure she'll be able to see me.
I'd like to give you an opportunity to use my body if you are willing.
The body of the king. Oh, blasphemy. I couldn't do that. Yeah.
That's a command, Surgeon.
Also, he not king.
And Sir Ninja smiles. As you wish, Your Majesty. Perhaps a ghost speaks here. Well, you don't know how ghosts work.
It's actually ectoplasm.
Yeah.
So you guys leave the bucket of shambles behind as you travel. So yes, you're
Can
back.
I grab the rest of the fruit too, you know, just
Well, you can take the case there.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit of room there. As you head up, as you head up to Newtown, approaching the front gate, you can see that Roland and are no longer there. They have been replaced by 2 guards with importance, and the sign is also replaced with new rules as far as the thing. And the guard is yelling to people that the gates will be closing shortly, and that you best conduct your business.
Politics.
Cool.
And it doesn't seem to give you much of an eyeball as you all are approaching. You look just pretty wretched at this point. Not a whole lot going on. And ushers you through the gate and into Newtown.
Before we see her, Your Majesty, could you perhaps take a quick wash? Here.
Reverend, I believe, can I ask for some assistance?
Sure, what?
She runs a bakery, so, you know.
I don't think we can very well walk in like so, and I know you have a knack for these things. Tied me up a bit.
Oh, yeah, you want me to, I can talk to them instead, that might be fun.
Maybe later.
All right, we'll do it your way this time. So I start to move around.
There's nothing to be changed there, that's quite fine.
What do you want me to do?
The clothes, rather.
Oh, you want to make it wear different clothes? Oh, well, that's easy to do.
The muck, Reverend, the muck.
I thought you wanted to look different.
What? Why would you assume I want to look different, Reverend?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I like to have a little fun. I guess that's not your thing. But all right, so I clean 1 square inch at a time, or 1 square foot at a time. It'll take 6 moments.
That's really thorough on that. All right, so you look and smell much better there.
And here's.
Yes. No. For the answer. So yes, we're driving. So anyway, as you all move into Newtown itself, going down that main road that leads right to where the Great House is, what you do see is there are several concordant soldiers that are sitting at the entrance to the Great House, and they are eyeballing you. But actually, yes, I'll tell you what, we do have somebody that has a bathroom break, so I'll make you all a deal. If you want to take a 10-minute break, we'll go do that so people can use the restroom, and then we'll run a little bit over to finish up the episode this evening.
Okay, that's great. All right. I'm ready.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, 10-minute break on that.
I can always just be loud.
All right, so welcome back. Thank you very much. So where we left off there, you will just come to the front gates and describe the soldiers that are sitting there from the concordance at the Great House, and kind of eyeballing you as your party moves out into that central ring around the interior of Newtown. Make that right-hand turn again, following up towards Rose's Bakery. And as you get to the bakery, and that small little fence is there with a beautiful little hedgerow of roses, you can see the herb garden that has been harvested down for the fall, and then some fall plants that have been planted as well. And just as you are going up the walkway, the front door to the bakery opens up, and out steps.
So you see a very tall, blonde woman in her mid-50s. She's 6'4" and very well dressed. but there's it's almost a juxtaposition that she looks like a noblewoman, but you can just see the rippled muscles in her forearms like she's worked with her hands for years. And as she steps out, she's carrying this large box with this big smile on her face. And you see not a whole lot about her, just very well kept hair. And she has a pendant on her neck that is just very shiny, sparkling purple gemstone that's cut into it looks almost like an 11-pointed star set into like really shimmering metal. Looks like silver, only much shinier. And she's just walking out and holding this and has a big smile on her face. And she looks over and she looks right at Reverend's neck. Why are you here? Yeah, you're early. You shouldn't be here.
I beg your pardon, ma'am?
Just 1 second. Yeah, I don't care if Alice said you could come. It's too early. Oh, well, if he's dead then, okay, that's fine. I'm sorry, you were saying?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I was speaking to your tie.
Reverend, do you know this individual?
Do I?
Well, that would be why you haven't unlocked it yet. Pardon me for just a moment. And she walks up over to you and just very gently touches the center of your bow tie.
All right, yes, that's happening.
And suddenly, it just turns into a beautiful, shimmering, looks like it's made of woven rainbows.
What?
And she goes,
What happened?
you didn't know what you had. What?
There's so much stuff on it.
So she looks at you and she goes, yeah. Before he takes advantage of you, perhaps I should tell you.
Reverend, tell us to make a move if you want us to make a move.
No, I think they're on up and up.
So like all of a sudden, like she just kind of like holds this box up just like on one finger and it's perfectly balanced. And she says, so the Dunderblack items come in a variety. You happen to have a gold one. Now I'm not sure the poor sap that died and left it turned on, but they can serve you very well. For instance, if you wanted, you could summon all the glitter your heart could possibly want. Or
I do like glitter.
yes, it does have kind of a silly name because they're always named after the properties they have. But you could summon things, you could stick things together. But particularly, there's a attribute called the commoner, and the gentleman that had it before you, it was left turned on when I don't know how you got it.
It's quite the tale.
Just make sure it behaves.
I won it in a card game.
That explains a lot. You have a wonderful... Oh. Well, that's strange.
I can't help but notice you seem to be looking at me. I imagine you're going to point to something on my post.
Oh, no, I just don't see that very often. It's okay. You have a wonderful day as well, and you as well.
I am troubled.
And then she turns and starts walking away.
Rose! Calls out and runs into the building.
Color me confused, but I'm pleasantly so. Apparently I was in possession of a magical item all this time.
Dawn is charged into the bakery, and everything seems to be in order here. As a matter of fact, Rose is behind the counter, having a very pleasant home and just working on her.
You're back already.
Rose, there's important business here. Who was that woman?
She called herself Helen? Helen of Westwood?
I don't know Westwood. I'm not familiar with Westwood.
A week ago, she showed up, not through the door, but just showed up in the shop and ordered the most elaborate cake I could possibly make and paid for it about 50 times over just today when she was picking it up.
But why? Who are they connected to the Concordance? Are they in the Dominion? Where do they come from?
The payment was made in a coin that I didn't recognize. It was real, and the cake said, "Congratulations, Anton and Giselle, on the birth of your son Francis."
you see like a marked confusion just washing over Vaughn, and then realize he gets like slapped back. Rose, that is, I'm sorry, that is remarkably
quiet, Sky.
That is not why we are here.
No?
Where are
You've been
you?
back from, you made it back from Granitegard.
Yeah, we are not alone, Rose. I think I would like to wait until
Bad
the rest
dog.
of the party has
You're
joined
not
us.
Yeah.
After prestidigitation, I'm making a natural sound off.
Got a weird phone call from another world.
I'm sorry, I was watching a DC phone.
I think at this point, it's important for you to know that we can speak freely before the rest of the group. And I think before we share what befell us in Granitegard, I'd like for them to come in as well.
I trust what you had to say, and I trust the folks that you spend your time with.
Just opens the door to see what you all are doing out there with your new bow tie.
I am just like glitter. 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 Watch,
All I want to do is boop it the whole time.
watch this. And I spin it and it just does that like
And the glitter needs to stay outside of the shop, if you don't mind.
I'm also making sure to stay far away from him with his glitter.
it can be glitter, but it could also be a pint of oil, so just be glad that I chose glitter.
I just kind of shake my head and wait for everyone to come into the shop.
And I look at Damon. Dirt. 1 gallon of this dirt just like covers all over from the bow tie all over his
No, you're going to have to fix that before the lot of you come in.
Damon, you gotta clean yourself up now. You gotta take better care of your
Why do you
clothes.
think
Let me
camouflage?
take care of that for you.
This is so much better. We can hide in the forest together now.
Do try to do better.
I don't think
You are so lucky that we are out in the open right now, because if not, I would kill you.
I have been described as lucky.
Well-
Remember, everyone, I think we have something that we wanted to order from Rose.
Oh, yes, that's right. Tears, yeah, let's go.
The tiered cake is what
Yes,
she bought.
yes. Oh, wow. It was 3 tiers. It was a very large cake. I don't know if you saw.
This might be more than 3 tiers.
Well,
Let's get inside.
everyone comes in. Yes.
Where are you?
I have been floating around, kind of gawking at all the cakes, and I've been looking at her kind of intently out of the corner of my eye, but then looking away, almost embarrassed.
Rose, you may wish to have a seat for this next bit.
Okay. I take a seat.
As we made our way to the tower, we found out that there was the other way to enter into the city, although we weren't able to enter fully into Granitegard. You see, there had been a collapse of some kind. And I'm sorry to report that we stumbled across quite the grisly of scenes. Not everyone had made it out. But the individual in question that we did find was none other than Sir Gendry. And it is unquestionable, without a doubt, Sir Gendry, whose body lies there in that tunnel.
Beneath stone.
Beneath the stone. And you can't help but notice that Vaughn is trying his best to make eye contact with you, but is still tethered to Sir Gendry. And his eyes are just darting to wherever you are in this room.
Vaughn, I know you to be someone who can speak freely. Why are your eyes darted around?
Well, it appears that Sir Gendry was left with some unfinished business.
I'm gonna pull out a phone.
Do I see it? Do I see that happen?
Not
There's
trying to
no
hide.
attempt to disguise it.
Sir Gendry has not necessarily left this plane fully. And you would see that like he comes together and tries to like grab both of your hands and is holding the locket in your hand. And he says, Sir Gingerland is in fact very much still with us.
I don't understand what you mean.
Well, maybe it's better if he explains it to you.
Alright, well, I'm gonna hop into your body.
You see Vaughn kind of shake for a moment, his eyes roll back, and when they head back down, they roll back over. You hear a very familiar voice. Rose, 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 Rose.
Rose.
I am very confused. I close my eyes.
I'm going to whisper, Rose, it's me. It's Gabe. I've been a ghost for a while. Sorry I got squished in the tunnel. If I could have gone back out and found you, I would have.
I open my eyes and it's still Vaughn and it's very confusing. Two people who I last saw 12 years ago, both presumed dead, one alive and one speaking to me. I just keep listening.
Rose, do you remember that time when we were young and we snuck into the Grand Theater at night and we danced on the stage where no one could see us? Do you remember that?
I do.
You remember that time we sat by the bridge over the river in the moonlight and tossed coins in the air? We lost all our money. I don't know why we did that.
So I kind of center myself. It is you. We didn't lose all of our money for long.
No, we did pretty well, didn't we?
We did.
We had a couple of young scamps.
How could this be happening?
I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you, but I waited. I waited until I could see you again.
And I was doing the same here in Newtown. This is why I've stayed so close to the city for so long. Cursed city.
Oh, it's not that bad. You've got a nice bakery here. You seem like you're doing pretty well for yourself, dear.
I like it here. I like it now in these last few weeks since Mom's been back. Even more.
Listen, dear, don't keep waiting for me. If you want to get remarried, that's fine. Just not George. Anyone but George. And I know he used to look at you.
George, well, George looked at everyone.
That's true. Gamble George. He's king now.
I saw him as
Well,
king.
he's not king. This guy's king.
Once again, very confused. Yes, and I kind of look around at the rest of the party. It seems like, do they seem like they know Vaughn's identity now?
We're all aware of the plan.
All right, yeah. So sensing no shock,
They're all pretty.
how strange, how long can you stay?
Not much longer.
No.
This is already sort of cheating. I mean, I can already feel the pull back to that place. Whatever place that is. It's nice to know that there is something after all of this. You know, I always doubted. I never told anyone I doubted, but I always doubted. Do you happen to have any of your strawberry tarts around?
I always make them. I kind of yell out to my assistant, who is in the back, to bring out a strawberry tart.
Absolutely. She yells back. She's like, how many do you want me to bring?
Just one.
Okay. And out comes a strawberry tart, and she's looking around the room. Hi. And then goes back to what she was doing.
I take a bite of the strawberry tart.
And memories flood back.
Airy, but not dry. Perfect. I'm just gonna start humming that same song that I hummed in the theater a long time ago and start dancing with her.
I set the locket down on the table and kind of follow along. You could stay here and speak with me forever.
Yeah, I really can't. I'm already starting to fade away.
It wouldn't.
I can feel it.
It wouldn't be long enough.
When we go get resolution, move on.
You were always so sure. When I had doubt, you knew. The resolve kept me going. What will I do with you gone?
I was faking it. I was faking it for you. I was never sure. You figure it out.
And Vaughn has changed.
He's a king. A true king of Granitegard.
Yes. I hope.
I'm losing my grip, Rosie. I love you. Oh, jinx. All right.
I kind of give him a peck on the cheek.
Yes, this is someone else's body.
Why I went for the cheek.
Right.
Well, it seems unfathomable that I would lose you again.
Keep cooking rosy cakes. And then I vanish out of his body.
I immediately let go of.
Uncomfortable for me. I'm so sorry if that was jarring for you as well.
I actually I initially let go a little bit, but then I just hug you really tight, actually.
It's cozy. You're about to say goodbye, then I imagine.
Yes. Thank you for that. Interesting turn of events.
I was just as surprised as you were when we found searching you down there.
I'm not even sure how to process this. I never imagined in 12 years that I thought you were both gone. For him to come back, for him to go again. You have the amulet that I gave you, I know.
I'm wearing it, yes.
Please keep it with you.
I promise I will. I'm sorry if I misjudged this. I thought it would be important for you to say goodbye. But
It was. You made the right call. You always make the right call.
I believe some of these fellows here may disagree with you from time to time.
Fools. From time to time.
Fools
Most
that
of the
keep me
time, you're not
honest.
fools.
On this one, Vaughn, I gotta agree with you. Lose someone that you never get to say goodbye to. It's too much to bear. But you got to pay your last respects.
I clutch the locket in my hand. I know what's inside of it. But I look at it anyway. It's pictures of Ginger and I, Galen and I, when we were younger. Is there anything else in it?
Nope.
Okay.
Just those nice looking announcements.
Well, I was right. It was many tears.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'll close it up.
I don't necessarily know if there's an appropriate way to pivot and move on from this. I know this is going to take some time for everyone to process, but I assume there is business
there is a job that needs to be concluded. And I can't help but notice that those were not town guards that we passed as we entered the city. Rose, what has transpired since we left?
GM.
The concordance has taken over most of the security at this point for Newtown. As is evidenced by the guards at the gate and the guards outside of the Great House. George and his contingent there are definitely not talking to people, but as far as the actual security and control of town, you're seeing a lot more concordance and things at this point.
So I relay all of that. It's still unclear what's happening with George, and things don't seem to be moving in a positive direction here.
What of the rest of the group and those Lord Arundel has been able to continue to work with? Have they learned anything, understand anything greater of what's going on? Are Lord Arundel safe, or has it been moved and made against them as well?
You can see that I'm kind of like slipping. We'll have to talk later on.
So I get ahead of myself. I'm sorry, Rose.
What happened to Wyatt? Is Wyatt all right?
At this point, you can definitely see that this woman's about to lose it in front of you. You know, I mean, it's everything she has to keep herself together. And the tears are really just swelling so much of it at the edges here that her eyes are just reddening.
Another day.
Uncharacteristically quiet at this point.
It'll have to be another day.
Sky noises over and so I think he's still right there.
I just barely notice it at all, and start to scoot through the group so I can go to my home.
At this point, your assistant comes out and looks at all of you and looks back where Lila's running. It's like, I think it's time for you. And he's going to usher you into
Very well. Very well.
And as the door's closing behind you, you hear her calling back and Rose asking if she's ready. And out in the night air, you are.
Surrounded by glitter.
Looking out on the front everywhere.
I just wave my hand and all the way.
The swirl of wind when it gets picked up, and as it goes a couple feet, it just dissipates.
Lon,
Yes, Echo?
I just wanted to say, I know you lost him once, but to lose a mentor that you look up to is hard, and you should be proud of how you handled it twice.
I meant when I spoke to Rose. It was just a privilege to be able to see him in action once again. He was a hero to me growing up.
He taught you well.
He attempted to get something through his thick skull, yes. And I'm afraid I picked up maybe the technique, but not necessarily his full righteousness.
You taught us well. Us as well. Don't sell yourself short. I don't believe in kings, but if I have a vote in this town, you can have mine. I don't know if that's how kings work, but...
I understand the words and what you're trying to impart. Thank you.
I'm gonna stop talking now. It's just kind of...
As you're all sitting here, you hear some footsteps coming down the way. And this gentleman walking by with this long pole with a flame at the end of it. And it's one of these lanterns in lighting. And as he moves along in the circle there, you can see the sun is definitely fallen out of the sky. And there's some first stars appearing on it.
Now, Echo, your sentiment is near and dear to my heart, but I do not think I want to make a decision on what we do next. I understand that we had a plan to move further into Granitegard, but I am no fool. And I see how some of us were affected by the news or lack thereof that Rose just shared with us. if you would like to remain in the city for the night and follow up with those that I know you care about, I think that would be a very necessary thing to do after the heartfelt exchange we just witnessed.
What do you think?
I think we should stay and see. Maybe tomorrow we can find out more. I'm worried about the Concordance's presence, but we'll figure it out. We'll be fine.
They did something wild. We gotta help. Before I met you, you're the only friend I ever had. So, yeah, we'll stay if we can.
Where are you heading? Well, do we think that we're fortunate enough to still have a room at the Riverdale Inn?
One way to try. Yeah, one way to find out. Yeah.
I have a suggestion. Are we close to the Silver Chalice at all?
Absolutely. It's about a block out and over from you.
How about we go have a nightcap at a new place? I'm buying
A toast to the city.
Super Ginger.
That seems very fitting. I think you would enjoy that.
So we walk up to the Silver Chalice, which is fancy.
As you are proceeding over there, again, you see the houses change dramatically in the structure. You now are in the area with the estates. You see Anna's favorite retail shop is closed for the evening of the day. But what you also are noticing that is the amount of patrols that are going on, and the number of soldiers that are around, especially over in this particular area.
They're gonna let us go in.
They'll be stopped you directly at the moment.
Let's go in.
All right. And up the steps you go into the Silver Chalice, which is the most fancy establishment within Newtown itself. And the who's who of town are here as far as money and power go. And you think one look at you as you're coming to the door like, oh, goodness. Given the muck and grime that the rest of you have, aside from that are all over you. And there's quite that difference in odor that you're probably noticing in the rest of this room. The two gentlemen that are standing at either side of the door and doing business here, they are quite large and rather intimidating.
This I used to frequent this establishment, or the one that used to be in this spot. I'd like to have one drink and then we'll be on our way.
I imagine our coin is as good here as the next individual.
What if I offered you some of this amazing fruit?
Persuasion check.
Okay, great. It smells so good. Do I get an advantage? Like it's like really. That's a 22.
Okay, so the one gentleman looks at you, he's like, oh, that is good looking. He grabs it, he's like, just and his friend is staring at him like, I'm not touching that. And he begins to go, oh, this is delicious, you've got to try something. He's like, and his friend is looking very concerned that he's eating this fruit.
It's amazing.
And he begins doing something with his arm that you see Gamon's eyes immediately just jet towards, and also the reverence. And it's thieves' camp. And it's one of those you're good against killers, he says to his friend. His friend is Nosh on that. As you're all standing there, they don't let you in, but he certainly enjoys it. That was delicious, and now you can go.
Messed up.
Yeah. Terrible manners and
No.
accepting bribes.
No. I apologize. I think you misinterpreted the situation. We are here to pay our final respects to a fallen ally. We will have a drink, and we will be on our way.
I look over to the one guard who used the thieves' camp, and I wave my hand in front of his face, and I swindle him. So he's going to make a wisdom save.
So would should one fail, the wisdom save?
Oh, he has now been charmed by the river of good berries. He will do whatever I say.
Oh, the Reverend. Oh, come on in, sir. And his friend is about to say something, and you hear this sound from about just above his belt buckle. And his eyes get very large for a moment, and then the sound begins to happen again. And he's holding his stomach. He's like, oh God. Oh God. And he goes from clutching his mouth to clutching the other end and jets through the establishment and back through a double set of doors. And his friend's like, oh, please, please.
Yeah, don't worry about your friend. He'll be all right. I'm proud of you. You're a regular swindler.
I really thought it was very good.
And looking at the interior here, as you step in, there is a dividing ledge as far as when you come in. There's a big floor that goes down about 3 steps, and to your left are a bunch of very nice looking tables. They have tablecloths on them, each one has a little candelabra on there. They're obviously waiters that are taking care of the people that are eating. Nice food's being brought out from there. Now to the right side is a very fancy looking bar with a control meter that runs down the whole length of it, which is expensive. Imported up here. The bar is a very polished cedar, and behind it is a very distinguished looking gentleman with a fancy looking bow tie, and looks over at you all and what's your appearance?
Mighty nice boat out there, my friend. You are a man of class and sophistication as well, I see.
I like your tie in there as well, but I'm forced to wear mine.
Well, that's unfortunate. I would like a round of your finest for me and my compatriots.
Finest woods. We have quite a lot of wine. Are you a man of spirits, or you a glass of wine, or you have some other persuasion?
Sparkling wine is toast.
Sparkling wine and shelby. And I do think that's this question at this point. Don't take this the wrong way, but usually used to do individual members quite like their patrons. Would you be able to send some coin out to ensure that this taken care of?
I don't think that'll be necessary. We'll be on our way shortly.
Oh, I do believe that you would need to pay for your drinks.
Oh, yes, we're going to pay for the drinks. Oh, my.
Yes. So, as looking up some silver, let's just say, to make sure that the drinks are covered. Since you are new. How much are you getting today?
Do it. 20 silvers.
20 silver. And he begins to send some very
You can
nice
keep the change.
Oh, there won't be any change. Of course, the drinks and size it gets so much better.
So then I give up another 5 silver.
5.
And that's for you.
And he brings yours all the way up to the left.
That's my good man.
Passes out some wonderfully sparkling wine to you there. And from the back room, you hear this. Oh
Could handle for such a big man, he has some very low constitution.
I'm so glad you passed that checker.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I wish you could tell the audience what you possess.
Yeah, it's the fruit of extreme disappointment. It was a DC 21, so just squeaked by that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A DC what?
21.
Whoa!
Yeah. Thank you for that bless. Yeah. Yeah. And if you fail, it results in them being stricken with loud, nauseous gas for 5 minutes per fruit consumed.
Who would make this?
What is this for? What is this for?
We never know how it got there, do we? We bothered to ask the people that had it. Wonderful people. So, you all enjoy your drink?
We raise our glasses to Sir Gender, noble soul, example we could all aspire to.
To Sir Gender.
Yeah. If I could make one from Old Toast. To the slobbering ogre. That's that's what this place used to be called back when my folks owned it. When I was a boy. Yeah, so, here, to the slobbering ogre.
To the slobbering ogre.
Alright.
You said there was a mirror running along the backside, back behind the bar. Vaughn takes the drink and is continuing to look forward into the mirror, and is just looking to see who's watching us and who's on us.
You got this. You can do it. I believe. Yeah.
13. But you do not feel
Damon, you looking kind of spooked.
Just think we should go.
I saw what? Yeah, we probably ought to talk about that guard as we were walking back to our quarters, but yeah, I think we overstayed our welcome. I like this place better when it was a slobbering ogre anyway.
I think I would as well.
There are quite a number of eyes, not only from the people frequenting the establishment here, but also the employees, as you're making these comments. Looking over your direction.
Well, fear not, friends. I will return another time to sell you some of my potions and healing.
Reverend, I think it's time we're going.
I had to start to some of the people in the bar.
Out of the city streets that you go, and now it's even much
Reverend, that seemed to have been a quick turn of events that we were so easily allowed inside. It wasn't just your good looks that got us in those doors.
Well, it didn't hurt, but I did grease the wheels, so to speak, in that man's mind.
And should we be concerned about what that means for us for the rest of the evening?
I mean, probably. That was the worrying type.
Do you remember we are standing out in the street in front of the establishment having this conversation?
Oh, probably should go.
Actually, stop pointing that out.
Hey, would you walk with me, Echo? As we're going back to the inn, right?
Sure.
I assume you would, because you just asked if you were. Again.
So, I know that you have struggled to know who you are at times and where you belong. And, well, I just want to say that I see that pains you, and I really would like to give you some answers if I can. I don't have all the answers for you, but I do feel very strongly that our paths are entwined somehow. And I also have questions, but I feel that I cannot help you to the best of my ability if I am not honest with who I am.
You know, I never thought I'd say this to anyone here, but I understand.
And she's looking very nervous, guys. She's so nervous.
What are you? You're away from the rest of us, right?
Well, not so far away that you can't see us.
Okay.
I wanted this to feel like more. I wanted it to feel like a personal interaction, but I think I'm close enough that you guys can still see and hear.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn to you.
Should we do this next?
And I'm going to reveal my half-elf ears.
I would like to thank you all for joining us this evening. Do tune in. We will not, unfortunately, we're doing a show on the 2nd of July, but we'll be back the weekend following that. So come back and see us again as we live stream from the Guardtower studios. And you can get us on Twitch. Go to our Linktree and you can find links to the Guardtower there, as well as our Discord. I really feel there are a lot of daggers shooting at me right now from people's eyes. But they'll have to wait to see what happens after that. So thank you all very, very much. And that was a fantastic job.
Oh, my God.